Begging for another lift. Doesn't make... Begging for another... Doesn't make... Begging for another lift. That means...
Oh, you. I apologize. I am pity. I am charged. Ah, other than why not? But please, a little.
Aswang is like a creature from Filipino urban legends. It's a creature that normally feeds on small children and unborn babies. It's like a Filipino vampire. No, I'm not Filipino. I'm married to a Filipino. We've been married for about 27 years. So I've been to the Philippines many times. So know quite a bit about the culture, the history, the urban legends, and I've always liked the aswang. So I use that for my name. Ah, awesome. I'll just open up YouTube because I can't really see the chat because I'm streaming through the PlayStation, so it only shows a couple of lines here and there. There we go. Oh, fantastic! Whereabouts in the Philippines is your wife from? Ah, thank you. And you have a good day. Oh, okay, from Leyte. I've never actually been to Leyte, but I hear it's quite nice there. My wife is from the central Visayas.
Begging for another.
Yeah, I agree. There's lots of beautiful places in the Philippines. I've been going back and forth there since 1999. So, but I mean, I've seen a lot, but there's still so much more to actually see there. Beautiful country, beautiful people. Yeah, I really can't get enough. Like me and my wife haven't been back home for about 2 years now, so we're due for a vacation soon. Oh yeah, that's very true. Like, yeah, I got to admit the prices went up a lot. So hopefully they come down soon. I got to admit, we were planning to go in September last year, but I ended up changing jobs, so we didn't end up going. But hopefully we'll get back there soon. Fingers crossed, anyway. Oh, God, yeah. I know what you mean, especially with like inflation, the VAT tax. Sadly, I remember when it was really, really cheap there, you'd go for a good holiday for a couple of months, and yeah, you'd probably only need a couple of $1,000. Whereas now you need a lot more money to make the trip last. I remember when you used to be able to buy a sack of rice for, geez, probably about 20 Australian dollars, so that probably would have been about 15 US dollars back then. But now that same sack of rice is, yeah, close to $70, $80 now. It's just too bloody expensive. Which is a big shame. I honestly don't know how a lot of the Filipinos manage to survive with how expensive stuff is. I think hopefully in another 10 years, my wife and I will retire to the Philippines because we bought some land there a couple of years ago. So we just need to put a house on it and, yeah, retire. But need to save up a lot of money for that, sadly. As you said, it's not as cheap as what it used to be. Yeah, I agree. Like my sister-in-law, like she's got the land that we bought over there, she uses that to grow vegetables and raise some animals, and even with the latest round of bird flu, it's killed off all the chickens. So yeah, she's sort of struggling a little bit over there at the moment. But yeah, it's lots of suffering and whatnot. It's a bit of a shame.
You break into a man's private... Your offishness, fine and well. You tricked Nepheli and had her drink the pool. I believe that makes you my accomplice. You yearn for a puppet of your... Well, normally, but perhaps now. Begging for another...
Yeah, that's true. That is very true. Now, I got to admit, I wouldn't mind like having a condo in, say, like Manila. Somewhere would be nice, but also having a home in the province would be good too. But in saying that, living in the province is much harder than like living in Manila or some of those larger cities like Cebu and whatnot. Funny thing was, when I first started going there almost 30 years ago, oh God, that makes me feel old saying that, I absolutely could not stand Manila at all. Always happy to get out of there and go to the province, but the last couple of times we've actually spent a bit of time going around and starting to enjoy it a bit better. Okay, yeah. Yeah, there's, I got to admit, the higher places, especially in some of the areas in Central Visayas, you've got some high elevations as well. It's nice getting into that sort of cooler sort of area instead of sweating your backside off in the lower elevations or the humidity. Yeah, I used to hate it, but I got to admit, the last couple of visits after like spending a week or two in Manila, going around to like different areas, it's a lot better than what it used to be like 20 years ago. Like 20 years ago, I really couldn't stand going there at all. But I think just the convenience of being able to get things. Oh, okay, beautiful. I've got to admit, that's one of the other places that I haven't visited yet. I haven't been to Davao. I hear it's absolutely beautiful down there. One day, maybe I'll get there. I've got to admit, I've still got a lot of Luzon and the Visayas to explore. There's some really beautiful places in the Philippines.
Not blithe, even in my... It is in thy... My thanks soon.
Well, hopefully one day I'll get down there.
My thank. A strange. I am sir. I must thank you. May leave. It was.
Like the main reason I didn't end up going to like Mindanao and Davao was just because of safety concerns. Back when I originally started going there, I was over there during the time when the ACF was very active, and when they kidnapped all the all the Americans and the tourists in Palawan. I was actually in the Philippines when that was there. Oh, okay. No, definitely have to get down there one day and have a look see. Like hopefully we'll probably end up going back to the Philippines in probably next year sometime. And we've been talking about spending a month there and sort of having... Oh, that was a mistake. Yeah, like I imagine anywhere like in the southern sections of Mindanao are not the most ideal place to visit. Yeah, I suppose it's like anywhere in the Philippines, you just need to be really careful of where you go. Even in Luzon and like the Visayas region, there's still like dangerous areas as well. Which is a bit of a shame. No, I could admit, definitely looking forward to going back again soon. Feels like far too long since we've been home. Yep, I'm with you there. The government is always, it's been corrupt forever and a day. I still remember when me and my wife were getting married, and we had to go and get some of the paperwork for the marriage certificate. Yeah, going to the local government and City Hall, having to give them an extra like 500 pesos or 1,000 pesos or something to actually get the paperwork done quicker so they could have their snacks or whatever it was. So yeah, it was a... Gotta admit, I don't think they'll get rid of the corruption too easily. But the bad thing is, it's not just the Philippines. Like, corruption's just widespread throughout Southeast Asia. Like, same with Vietnam, Thailand, Laos, Cambodia. It's just the way the system works there, sadly. Oh yes, I assume you've been to a couple of the like the tourist spots, like if there's like swimming pools or waterfalls or whatnot. The foreigner always has to pay several more pesos than the locals. That was it. I think last time we were there, we went to a section where there were some waterfalls, and I think it was like 50 or 100 pesos or something for the Filipinos to get in. Whereas for myself, it was a couple more hundred on top of that. That's really sadly the only way that they can survive, by doing that sort of thing. So I gotta admit, it doesn't upset me if I have to pay a little bit extra. Yeah, sadly, it's always been like that. It's much like the same if you go to like Manila or say Boracay or some of those tourist spots. You automatically get hit with the foreign attacks. Well, that's true. Like they are sort of struggling just to survive. And like the funny thing is, like the extra couple of pesos they charge normally only sort of equates to a couple of dollars for us. So yeah, it's a pain, but at the end of the day, it could be worse. I don't feel too bad if I've got to pay like $2 or $3 extra here or there. I think when I was younger, I used to get more upset about it, but not so much anymore. That's what we wanted. So how long have you been married to your wife for? Did you meet her in the Philippines or you meet her in the US? Oh god, yeah, I agree. The US and Australia are definitely far from perfect. We have our own sort of several issues and problems. But if we can sort of help out here and there, then yeah, that's much better, I think. Like, it does get a little bit painful from time to time, sort of reaching into the pocket, but yeah, it could definitely be worse. Like, after all, we're lucky we get to live in sort of decent housing. We don't have roofs that leak from the bamboo or from the thatch and whatnot. Oh, okay. Oh, congratulations. Oh, it's good to hear. No, it's fantastic. Like I met my wife in the Philippines. I went there in, when was that? Like 1998 originally. I went there to, I don't know if you know what arnis is, but I went there to play arnis, which is Filipino martial art, which is stick and knife fighting. So when I was over there, that's when we met. And yeah, we ended up getting married about a year later. And it took us, I don't know, probably about 5 years or so for it actually come here. Because I was a poor university student at the time. So the Australian government didn't want me to bring my wife and my daughter over here until I could support them. So it took a bit of time. Oh, beautiful. Well, that's true, isn't it? Like even the farmers struggle in the Philippines because there's, sadly, so many of them. So they all have to try and compete. It's quite difficult, like especially when it comes time to the tilling the fields. I am in Victoria. I live about 1 hour away from Melbourne. So I live in the very cold part of Australia. And what about yourself? Whereabouts in the US are you from? Oh, okay. Beautiful. I've got to admit, Perth, I've been there a couple of times. It's a nice city. Melbourne, it's all right. I don't really go to Melbourne too often. The city where I live, we have everything here, so there hasn't really been a need to actually go to Melbourne too often. So we do it every couple of months. But yeah, feel free to visit Australia one day, enjoy our beautiful beaches and whatnot. Perth's very nice. Oh, okay. I have to admit my geography of the US isn't too good, but Chicago's up in the very, very north. It's not too far from like Canada sort of area. Is that correct?
Or is it merely fire? I hadn't expected. But now the form eliminate the name of I will not. Let us speak of I was one of the demi. Each of us, which is when, but I would not. I stole. I would not. The two thing and the bale.
Sadly, I know a lot more about Asia and Southeast Asia than what I do about my American brothers and sisters.
Though he was created, he was a alive. Yet, but I must be Jar, another one.
Oh, okay.
This form hath loosened my tongue. I've let slip too much. Forget what thou... I've let forget what...
Well, yeah, I got to admit, America is a big country. But funnily enough, so is Australia. If you wanted to drive from like the east coast to the west coast of Australia, it probably takes about non-stop about 4 days if you had a continuous driver. It's a big distance. And I assume very, very similar to the US in size. I have to admit, I'd love to visit America one day. I wouldn't mind going to visit, like going down to Texas, having a look down there. Up in the north as well. Not particularly too keen on the East Coast. from what I've seen of like California and San Francisco, it looks it's pretty mad down there.
Tell the two fingers that Rani the witch cometh to rend thy flesh.
Yeah, that's true. It is. It's very, very similar.
Ne'er to heal.
Like, a lot of people think Australia's a small country. Like explaining to my wife's relatives, like just how far it is to go from one state to another. Sometimes they don't believe you. Oh yeah, Alaska looks absolutely fantastic. And I have to admit, like I work as an engineer in mining, so like all the mining in Alaska and the beautiful country there, I would absolutely love to see it one day. And Hawaii, that would be fantastic as well. Got quite a passion for volcanoes, and like the basalt there would be absolutely fantastic. I can imagine that would have surprised her.
My thanks. 'Twas more of a challenge than
Because what is it normally in the Philippines, if you spend like an hour or 2 hours driving from one city to another, that's quite a long distance for Philos. I bet your wife was truly amazed once she got to the US and just saw the difference in the lifestyle. I have to admit, we take a lot for granted. It's like even our education system, like here in the US, like we have the ability to go off, even though we have to pay loans to pay back the education, we can still go and get educated. Whereas in the Philippines, if you have no money, then you've got no choice really. You can't get educated. You just end up, suffering. And much the same with medical as well. Like if you can't afford to go and see a doctor, then you end up suffering, sadly. Oh, exactly. It's much better. No, we are very lucky. Even though we have to pay a little bit of money for our medical, it's still not as bad as what the Filipinos have. Like if you have to go to hospital and you can't pay the bill, they keep you in the hospital until a family member can actually pay for it. Which is a pretty sad thing. I've got to admit, it's a bit of a shame. But we can only hope that one day the system will get better in the Philippines. Sadly, I'm not holding my breath. I don't think it'll happen for quite some time though. Oh god, yeah. Oh yeah, it's very true. Like, it's such a very hostile sort of environment there, isn't it? Typhoons, volcanoes, earthquakes. But yeah, they keep marching forward and yeah, keep doing their best. And the funny thing is, like, everyone's happy in the Philippines. Well, you go to like spend time with Filipinos and they're happy, smiling. They roll with the punches, don't they? Yeah, that's true. Always good food and good drink and good people to talk with. So yeah, I know what you mean. I know exactly what you mean. And I got to admit, the food, especially going out to like spending some time with people, going to the fiestas and things like that, absolutely fantastic. Gotta admit, I do miss that quite a lot. Really looking forward to going back soon. Oh, that's exactly it. And like most Filipinos are very happy to give you their last bit of food just to make sure that you're happy and enjoying life with them. So, like, the hospitality in the Philippines is second to none. Like, you really can't beat it. Goodness. That died. Oh yeah. Rice for every meal. Well, as they say, rice is life. No, I gotta admit, when I first went to the Philippines, eating rice for breakfast, lunch, and dinner was a very, very hard thing to do. Considering we're used to growing up and like eating bread and potato and stuff like that. Oh, your wife will not be able to stop eating rice. Like my lovely wife, she goes for 2 days without eating rice. She goes through withdrawals. She doesn't feel like herself until she has some rice again. I think the longest that I've seen my wife go without rice was probably about a week. And needless to say, she was quite grumpy for that whole week. I have to say, before we got married, maybe I would eat rice, oh geez, maybe once or twice a month. Very rare. But yeah, I think the longer we've been together, I can eat rice pretty much every day now. Even though I do try to avoid it sometimes. I do miss things like occasionally bread and pasta. I got to admit, I don't actually eat too much Filipino food these days anymore. Pretty much eat it, well, of course, eat it all the time when I go to the Philippines, but not so much now. Yeah, I got to admit, a good adobo is nice, a good nilaga. Funnily enough, one of the things that I do miss in the Philippines is, what is it? Shakey's Pizza. Oh, not Shakey's, Greenwich Pizza. But admit, some of the best pizza I've ever had has been in the Philippines. Funnily enough. Look at that. Yeah, it's pretty good. And Greenwich is owned by Jollibee, funnily enough. I gotta admit, whenever we go to the Philippines, it's one of the first things that I want to do is have some Greenwich. And also like a good longanisa or something like that. I gotta admit, the Filipinos do some pretty good food. Oh yeah, this is true. Got American. Oh, it's a lot of chain foods from America. I admit the Japanese are starting to get quite a lot of in there as well. Same with the Koreans. Oh goodness. Oh, okay. That's interesting. The funny thing is, in Australia we don't actually have any Jollibees. Because apparently the issue is the Australian government wants Jollibee to say what's in in their sources and things like that, and the Filipinos don't want to release the information, which is fair enough. I can understand where they're coming from there. Ah, okay, yep. Oh, it makes sense. And the Filipinos love their manok. Manok and the baboy. Done it. No, I got to admit, that's one of the things that I missed is the baboy lechon. Absolutely delicious. Like pretty much each time we go back, my wife always makes sure to get one ordered for us. And we get the family together and have a get-together sort of party, which is always fun. All right, mate. Nice to chat to you as well. You take care. And, yeah, take care of the wife. Good chatting. See you, mate.
So, perhaps I need... I am pleased. I go now. I bid thee, and once or...
Yeah, I'm doing alright, mate. How about yourself? Starting all over again. No, that pain. So what have you been up to, mate? Anything exciting? Jeez. Triple digits, that doesn't sound pleasant. I gotta admit, I'm just sitting here freezing my backside off. Yeah, that's it. Stand in front of a Barbie and get even hotter. That's the same sort of rationale that they use here as well. Oh, it's hot, so let's go barbecue. Get even hotter. So yeah, I know where you're coming from there. Far too bloody hot to be doing that sort of stuff. Oh, goodness. I will be. I'm just being a little slack and sitting in the lounge room. It's too cold to go into the office where the computer is. And I'm sort of trying to get motivated to go down the street as well to get some stuff. But it's one of those sort of lazy Fridays. Sauce. Like technically I should be at the university today, but it's just too bloody cold to go and do anything. Oh god, yeah. No, the load times are a hell of a lot better on the PS5 in comparison to the PS4. And yeah, you're right, the graphics are much better upscaled. Sugar. Now, I'll probably get around to streaming a bit of Sekiro probably a bit later this afternoon. That puppy's annoying. I go a bit like not having the stats and the levels into the dagger definitely makes things a lot harder, that's for sure. Doggo's annoying. Fuck off. Well, that's true. That does help. Quit Sekiro after 10 minutes. Come on, die, doggo. That's it. Hopefully that son of a bitch stays dead now. Praise the tarnish, praise the message. I don't know what's happening. For some reason, I was seeing online messages today. Not sure what the go is. I'm sure it'll bloody go back to normal soon. Berserker game? What's the Berserker? Oh, okay. Yeah, I think I know the one you're talking about. Sick looking for these turtles. I really should just YouTube where these things are. Oh, fucker it. Not worth the headache. Why am I going there? Still can't do anything with it. rid of that bow. I admit the marionettes aren't particularly too good in this fight. Yeah. Next thing is, I've got the sun blasting through the window, so it's really hard to see.